This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore! Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
Welcome to the Mailbag here on the WWE Podcast. It's Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. We have the voicemail portion of the show coming up for you that yours truly will be doing, and then Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan on the other side with your email responses, and should be a good one as we roll into WrestleMania this weekend, just a couple of days, and it's here. So I know I'm ready. I know you guys are ready. Should be a very interesting couple of nights, and we'll be having a full prediction show tomorrow. That'll be dropping tomorrow with maybe a co-host or maybe solo. I haven't locked anything down yet, but it's coming your way tomorrow night with my official full preview and prediction show. And sure, things could change last second on SmackDown, but we're going to pretend they're not, and everything is as it is now. So, all right, well, before we get going, guys, you know what's coming. I got to plug my my Patreon because it's a great place to be during WrestleMania, where you can connect with all other wrestling fans on the show and listen to ad-free audio, no ads at all. And you can also connect on the Discord server as part of your patronage at patreon.com/WWE podcast. Also check out Apple Podcasts or our website, www.podcast.com. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's jump into the voicemails and get to our very first one. Y'all know who this is. Let's do it.
Hello, WWE Podcast World. This is DJ Kuzmo back at it again on your Mailbag show. Recording you live on a Wednesday morning. And it is time for your favorite show to come on every single week on the Mailbag. And I'm talking about the Veer Mahan Report. The Veer Mahan Report took place last night on NXT, but we did not get an appearance of the Indishir of my guy Veer Mahan of Sangha, but we did get an appearance of the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal, as he was part of the 20-man Battle Royal to be that final entrant to be included into the NXT North American Championship Fatal 5-Way this coming Saturday at Stand and Deliver. But unfortunately, he did not win the Battle Royal. He got eliminated. None other than Jinder Mahal got eliminated by Nathan Frazier and Axiom. But hey, other than that, none other than my guy Veer Mahan, he is taking some time off. He's taking some time off right now. He's in India, enjoying the sights and the sounds of India back in his homeland. He's also getting a chance to promote the WWE. But I cannot wait to see what happens after WrestleMania, what happens after NXT Stand and Deliver, when my guy, hopefully, the return of Veer Mahan, Sangha, and of course the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal, the Indishir, return back on NXT next week. Because whoever is the new NXT Tag Team Champion hopefully will get that shot going up against my guys of the Indishir, of Veer Mahan, and Sangha, alongside the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Now, with that being said, I hope you'll have an awesome week, a blessed week. This weekend is WrestleMania, the granddaddy of them all. Having an awesome time watching WrestleMania this coming Saturday and Sunday. And of course, be blessed, stay juicy, my friends, and peace.
DJ, thanks for keeping us up to date on the Indishir and Jinder Mahal. For those that aren't following, this is a great update every week to see what is going on with the future of WWE could hold. And I continue to remain steadfast that I think that the Indishir will be called up to the main roster after WrestleMania. It may not happen on Monday Night Raw after, but I think shortly thereafter they will. And if Kevin and Sammy win those tag team titles, it'll give them maybe another team to work with in the spring and summer months. So that's something to look forward to, as well as Jinder Mahal. Maybe Jinder Mahal, maybe he joins them and they keep the Indishir together. Maybe they do. Triple H loves himself some factions. That's for damn sure. So what's another one at this point? So, good stuff. Thank you, DJ. I hope you enjoy WrestleMania as well. I know you'll be in that Discord chat throughout the shows. And, of course, NXT Stand and Deliver for those that are watching. I'm sure it's going to be a great show. And looking forward to hearing your opinions on that. And, hey, we got Memphis Mark covering the NXT Stand and Deliver show. So, all right, let's get to our next voicemail.
Hey, it's Kyle from Baltimore. So I wanted to talk about the match you kept talking about Rollins and Reigns, about their Universal Championship match that had happened. It didn't happen at Survivor Series 2021. It happened at the Royal Rumble 2022, so last year. That's where the championship match has happened, and that's when DQ happened at the Royal Rumble last year. Survivor Series 2021, Seth Rollins was in the middle of a Raw vs. SmackDown Survivor Series match, and Roman Reigns was in a champion versus champion match with Big E. So that's what happened at Survivor Series 2021. I keep hearing you saying that the match between Rollins and Reigns happened at Survivor Series. It didn't. It happened at the Royal Rumble last year. So I just wanted to put that out there because we've been Raw for a while, and I just wanted to correct you for a while, but there it is. Anyway, so beyond that, with the women's championship match with Bianca and Asuka is so lame. Doesn't make any sense at this point. Bianca Belair has felt very cold since her feud with Becky Lynch. And so do you think it's time for her to be a heel? She needs to be a heel at this point, right? So will that happen? But that's my question about Bianca, but that's it. Thanks for a call. Bye.
Kyle, how have I messed? I don't know how I messed that up. I got to say, I have been saying Survivor Series forever. You're right. And I thought that in my mind, I think I got one of the big four pay-per-views just swapped, and it just was a misfiring in my brain. I mean, it doesn't negate the fact that they still didn't follow up on that story. Like, that's the biggest point I'm making. And yeah, I've been mistaken on when this happened. For some reason, I was not only the wrong pay-per-view, but also the wrong year. So, to be fair, if this did happen at Royal Rumble 2022, and that was only 2 months after I thought the match actually happened. So I guess you could say I'm in the wrong year, but in reality, it's 2 months after I thought it happened. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm glad you did, because I keep referencing it, and I don't know. I'm in the universe of correct. I'm just not quite there. But my stance doesn't change just because it was at the Rumble, though. I mean, like, I still feel like they never followed up on that. There's a lot they didn't follow up on there. It was just left, and they never continued, and I think they can. Now that Roman Reigns is fully entrenched as a heel, and you have Seth Rollins, arguably one of the biggest baby faces they have right now. I mean, the recipe is there. They just got to put the ingredients together now. And I think that anytime you put them together, they're going to create magic. They're really good in the ring together, and it's been a while, right? So if it's since the Royal Rumble 2022, like, now we're talking, 15 months since they last collided? That's enough time to make it feel somewhat fresh with Seth and Roman, and that's why I really think that they should keep the belt on Roman. There's untold stories, a lot of untold stories they could do with the belt and Roman, and so, all right, I'm not trying to tip my hand on my predictions, but I've been a bit consistent with that thought. So thank you for the correction, Kyle. Now, as far as Bianca and Asuka, I mean, I don't know what more to say about this. It seems no one cares. They didn't even put them on TV this week because they didn't know what to do with them. So they just created a video package, not for their program, but for them individually. Like, we saw one for Bianca, then we saw one for Asuka. We didn't see a whole lot of. It may have been brief. It wasn't really focused on them together in the match and why we're supposed to care who wins. It was just kind of like, hey, here's Asuka's career in a nutshell, and here's Bianca's. And then it was like, oh yeah, we're going to put them together at WrestleMania, and you're supposed to care who wins. And I mean, I guess fans do care. If I was to guess, they probably want Bianca to retain, but Bianca has been on a downslide for a while. She's uninteresting right now. It's a perfect time for a turn. I continue to say that. And I think that they will do something bigger than we imagine at the event. They can't just have Bianca retain and have her walk away. Can they? Good God. All right, Kyle. Thank you. And let's get to our next one.
Oh, hey, Matt. It's Devin here. I hope you had a good weekend. And, hey, I just watched SmackDown on replay. I was watching it kind of while I was working, so I watched the whole show. And something that struck interesting to me was in the first match between Cody Rhodes and Ludwig Kaiser, they went to an ad break. And when they came back from the ad break, Michael Cole said, and who we have here, we've got Ludwig Kaiser against the number one contender for the Universal Championship, Cody Rhodes. I found that interesting. Could that have been a mistake that maybe Michael Cole just said the wrong thing? Or are we looking at Cody Rhodes potentially winning at WrestleMania and then the next night or maybe later that night the stipulation comes out or something, some fine print that was never read saying this was only for the Universal Championship and not the WWE Championship, which could be interesting. But if that's the case, they're using the wrong belt. Because if they want to go for this 1,000-day thing, it should be on the Universal belt, not the WWE Championship belt. So I'm only basing this on what Michael Cole said. He might have just made a mistake and I just happened to pick up on it. I did go back and replay it and just to make sure my ears weren't deceiving me. So it was definitely said. So yeah, I guess, yeah, this could be just, yeah, food for thought, I suppose. Anyway, only a week to go. Exciting. Take care, mate. Bye.
Great catch, Bevan. I did not catch that. That's why you guys are my eyes and ears for being smarter than I am, for sure. And I did not catch it. But here's what my opinion is on it, even though I didn't hear it myself. I think it was a mistake by Cole. And not a mistake that, oops, oh crap, we kind of let the cat out of the bag. That was our plan. More of just, whoops, I forgot to say undisputed Universal WWE Champion, right? Like, I think he just forgot the other 4 words that are attached to the name of this championship, and that's all it was. It is a pain in the neck, I have to say, to say undisputed WWE Universal. Like, I liked when it was just WWE Champion. I liked when it was just Universal, simple, but they want to put all their eggs in one basket, and they have with Roman, and I've gone down that road of why I think they should split the belts. Now, your assessment that maybe they did slip, let's pretend that that's what Cole did and they slipped, right? Well, if they were going to do that, I don't think that they would have Cody win the Universal. They would have him win the WWE. Why? Because the streak that Roman began at SummerSlam 2020, am I right, Kyle? I'm just making sure because Kyle is my authority now on pay-per-views that I referenced that have been wrong for months and months. So Roman did win at WrestleMania or SummerSlam 2020, right, Kyle? Okay. But Bevan, let's play that out. So Roman wins at SummerSlam 2020 when he turned heel, and that's when the streak started. So you wouldn't give up the half of the belt, the half of the championship that your streak started with. You would give Cody the WWE Championship, he'd bring it to Raw. So I think, really, that may be one way that you could argue that Cody wins is, okay, he beats Roman, Roman's undefeated streak since SummerSlam 2020 ends, but his streak is intact because the match, that, like as you said in the fine print, maybe the wise man put something in last second that Cody didn't see, and Cody is actually only the WWE Champion, and Roman retains his streak. It's still a 1,000-day streak that they could get to. Now, I mean, there's an argument you could make whether or not they should do that, but that's how, if they were going to play that card, that they'd probably do it is give Cody the WWE and have Roman keep the Universal. Thanks so much, Bevan. Hope you enjoy WrestleMania. Hope to hear from you after WrestleMania too. So, all right, let's get to the next voicemail.
Hey, Matt, it's Thomas from Montreal calling in. This is my first voicemail, so hopefully nothing goes wrong. But just wanted to talk about WrestleMania this upcoming weekend. I wanted to talk about my predictions for a few of the higher profile matches. So I'm going to start off with the one that's opening, night 1, Theory versus Cena. I think Theory is going to retain. I don't see a world where Cena wins whatsoever because he's currently filming another movie. So I don't think he has the time to really have a U.S. title reign. And, this would give Theory a perfect WrestleMania moment where he goes over against, arguably the greatest of all time. And, they're very high on Theory. So that's that. Rhea versus Charlotte. I think this is pretty straightforward. I can't say anything else but a Rhea Ripley win. Like, she needs to get the title, and that'll just elevate Judgment Day even more and, elevate those stars to a main event level. Asuka versus Bianca. I'm really 50-50 on this one, but I think they're going to go with Asuka for shock value. And like you said a few weeks ago, I think someone's going to turn heel. I don't know who it's going to be. So yeah, that's my prediction for that. I'm going to go Asuka. For Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, I think Seth is going to go over. Because they've been really playing on the one lucky punch with Logan, and the build has been fantastic, and they're really making Logan seem like a credible threat to beat Seth, but Seth takes too many losses, so I think they'll give him that one. The Usos versus Sami Zayn and KO, I think, like you mentioned, it's getting a little bit worrying seeing how they're playing on the friendship between KO and Sami, but I'm still going to go with KO and Sami win, and the Usos lose their titles. And I'll cover the main event quickly. Is going to be Roman Reigns. There's no way, in my opinion, there's no way Cody loses. They've built him up very, very well, and he's definitely, no question, a main eventer in my eyes. His presentation and his in-ring moves and skill sets, like, I just think he's going to be a world champion this year, but I don't think it's WrestleMania. So yeah, Roman Reigns hits 1,000 days for sure. So yeah, that's it for me. Very excited for your preview show. Very excited for what's to come this weekend. So, yeah, that's all for me.
Hey, Robert. Hope all is well. Thanks for calling in and providing your predictions. And, I'm trying to, it's hard for me to respond to this because I'm also trying to keep people hooked in what, our predictions are, specifically mine, not the collective we, as our hosts and co-hosts here, I'm sure, have varying opinions, but so I don't want to speak for everybody, but obviously the predictions I provide tomorrow night are going to be my own. That said, I will touch a little bit on some of your theories here, pun intended, I guess. Theory winning. Here's what I'm going to answer the questions without hopefully giving away the farm here. But Theory winning is a solid pick. The problem is, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, because Cena, look at this. Cena has shown up once to promote this match. Not even via satellite, nothing. He's been there once. I know he's got a lot going on, but I don't know. You expect Cena to show up at least twice, or at least via satellite, pull a rock from, WrestleMania 27. I don't know. But the other argument on the other side is this match is opening WrestleMania, right? WWE, more often than not, if they're opening WrestleMania, they give the crowd something to really cheer for, get excited about. And sure, John Cena's music is probably going to hit the moment WrestleMania starts. And they'll be like, no better way to start off WrestleMania than with the greatest of all time, right? John Cena's music is going to hit the moment that WrestleMania goes live. And as it should, right? It's WrestleMania, bring out the stars. But it also may lend itself, if they're the opening match, to getting the crowd excited. And that would mean that you're going to have a babyface win that match. Now, do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. I'll figure that out tomorrow night. But that's the argument against it, is they like to get the crowd up, excited, boom, babyface win to start, and then, some heels win in the middle, and they sandwich it usually with a feel-good moment at the end, although, hey, there's something to be said about the Roman Cody thing. Anyway, I think that you're spot on with some of these predictions. The Rhea Ripley, that's not going to be, really spoiling anything. I think Rhea Ripley is a massive, overwhelming favorite to beat Charlotte, and she should. And let me just say this. If Rhea doesn't beat Charlotte, people will boo and turn on Charlotte. You are forced, as a company, you have no choice but to give the championship to Rhea. None. The only question is, how good of a match is it? This is a 95% chance for Rhea Ripley. Anybody that's that is going with Charlotte, you're just trying to be that guy. I mean, you are just trying to play cute here, and I don't prescribe to anybody unless the goal is to piss off fans and turn Charlotte heel and Rhea babyface, which they don't want to do right now. It's a bad choice because Rhea as a heel in the Judgment Day is a perfect fit. There's just no good reason to do it at all. So just my 2 cents there, but what do I know? Now the other picks. I mean, it's hard for me to pick on this because or respond to this. You're going with Roman. I'll just say okay for now. Seth going over Logan Paul. I think that's also a smart pick. And I'm not sure if you mentioned any others, but Robert, thank you for your contributions to the show. And guys, by the way, I know my voice sounds a little different. To be honest, I recorded this and then I was too lazy to go back and fix it because it's super late right now. So I sound like I'm, like on old school radio. It's clear, but it's just kind of not the best quality. So hopefully with my next response, I'm going to fix it. So let's just do that. Get to the next voicemail, and hopefully when I respond, I'll be back to high fidelity audio. So here we go.
Hey, man, this is Justin from Maryland. Just wanted to get my thoughts on a couple of topics heading into WrestleMania. So first is Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. So all signs point to Seth winning with how he's been laid out the past couple of weeks that he had interacted with Logan Paul. So I'm just hoping he wins. He definitely deserves it. And also, I think it would hurt him as far as like his character to lose another big match at WrestleMania. It definitely wouldn't be believable, or it wouldn't be it's just like it wouldn't be believable that he could be a world champion if he can't beat Logan Paul. So yeah, just hoping that Seth wins, and that's all on that. So next is Roman and Cody. So I'm still torn on who's going to win. Like, I really want Roman to win, like we talked about it. He has so many more opponents he can work with the belt. So it's just very interesting. Like, this is probably the one match I probably wouldn't bet on because it can go either way. So definitely looking forward to the match and looking to see, like, who wins and how they go from there. Next is Bobby Lashley. So he's in the Battle Royal on SmackDown. So what I'm thinking is maybe, like, he'll have some interaction in the match where maybe that could lead to an open challenge. I mean, not open challenge, but that could lead to, like, his match, like, at Mania, because it would just be a crime that he wouldn't be on the card. So I think maybe the Battle Royal would, like, set up his match at WrestleMania, or he'll just come out and just do an open challenge and get his opponent that way. Last is the IC title. Triple threat match. I'm leaning towards Gunther retaining. I feel like if Drew McIntyre were to win, he should beat Gunther one-on-one, because then that would make Drew look more stronger. So I think Gunther will retain. I think maybe Sheamus would take the fall, and then they could go with Drew and Gunther at Backlash. I think that would be a good match, because we definitely want to see those two go at it one-on-one. We've already seen Sheamus and Drew a million times, and Sheamus and Gunther, so I don't think it makes sense for Sheamus to win, even though it would be a good moment. But I don't think Sheamus is going to win. I think Gunther should retain and should probably hold on to it for a little while, unless, they want to move him up to the world title scene. But, yeah, I think that's it. I'm definitely excited for WrestleMania. I can't wait. Definitely looking forward to the John Cena match. He'll be coming out first, so
Alrighty, Justin, the weekly victim of the 3-minute rule. Okay, let's go through this a little bit. Good points as always, Justin. Really enjoy having you on the show here. Seth Rollins, Logan Paul. I mean, I talked a little bit about this in the last response. He is the heavy favorite. I agree. And the more I think about it, it's not that Logan Paul can't win, but here's the problem. Seth, as you have mentioned and others, has had a habit of losing big matches and big stages, or losing the blow-off match. Like, Seth has been damaged by those losses. Even to this day, like, you don't feel 100% confident he could win the big one. Now, when you look at Logan Paul in this match with Seth, Seth can't gain anything from winning, but he can lose something if he loses, if that makes sense. In other words, I think if Seth wins, he kind of maintains pace, maybe picks up a little momentum, but basically stays where he's at, because Logan Paul has been in WWE for the last 15 seconds, and he's been great. Great comparative to where most people would be if they had only a few matches on television. So I'm not taking anything away from him. But let's be honest, Seth Rollins is way out of Logan Paul's league when it comes to, in-ring just IQ, and the resume of Seth, isn't even in the same conversation as Logan Paul when it comes to WWE. So that said, I think the biggest point I can make is Seth will, lose momentum, WWE's favorite word, if he loses, but he doesn't gain anything. He kind of stays the course if he beats Seth, or rather Logan Paul, and then he continues on to his next opponent, which hopefully is not a rematch with Logan Paul, and he goes on to a next real opponent. Maybe even Roman. Who knows? So that's what I think about that, without giving my pick away. And yeah, Cody and Roman could go either way. They've done a great job of making you believe that Cody could win. And I've laid out all the reasons why he shouldn't, with all the programs Roman has yet to wrap up, and they could wrap up and should wrap up with him as champion, not just as a grudge match with Jay or Randy Orton, or returning Randy Orton, who will make a big impact, I think, at WrestleMania. And, also the 1,000 days. You really sacrifice everything at the altar of Cody Rhodes? I don't know. But what I want and what I think WWE may be two different things. Again, what WWE may want and what they're going to do, and what I think they should do, obviously don't always align. Lashley in the Battle Royal, your idea of him using that to maybe set up a match with somebody at WrestleMania itself. So you're saying in the Battle Royal, which perhaps may not, it has taken place on the pre-show, hasn't it? So if it takes place on the pre-show, and maybe we have Lashley win. Maybe or he gets eliminated by somebody and then he wants a one-on-one with them at WrestleMania in the actual proper show. It's possible. That's a good thought. I don't think anybody's thought of that, and God willing, it's not Bray Wyatt. So now your Gunther pick about him retaining, I think that's a solid pick. I think that Sheamus winning doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. Drew is kind of in... right now, he isn't quite in that position to take the belt from Gunther, I don't think. But here's the thing. Gunther made so much noise in the Royal Rumble, nearly won the Royal Rumble. And they made a big deal about how Gunther has lasted the longest of any man in the Royal Rumble since its inception. I don't know if WWE would... after building him up so much, have him lose at the very pay-per-view that they've been trying to build him to get to. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. To me, it's about building stars here, and Gunther is on his way to mega stardom, I think. I really believe that Gunther is on his way, well on his way, to mega stardom, and eventually competing for the world title. Now, when that is, I don't know. You can make an argument it's in 2023, but perhaps it's not even until 2024. If he has a long reign with the IC belt, I'm all for it. He has been an amazing anchor on SmackDown. He is a face of SmackDown. Not the face, but a face of a few. And he's done a great job as champion. He brings respect to the championship, and he's believable in bringing that respect. He doesn't just say it. He looks the part. And he's the antithesis of what a lot of the groups and factions, you know who I'm talking about, and what they present. They are the antithesis of that, and bring it back to old school, and I love every second of it. So, I don't even know why Gunther's a heel. Why are we supposed to boo him? I brought this up before. Why is Gunther a heel? He doesn't cheat to win. He doesn't use his goonies to win. He puts on amazing matches, has great chemistry with Sheamus, is legit badass, looks like a war general. He's got a great look. Why are we supposed to hate him? Because he's not from America? He's just a foreign invader? We have a lot of those. I don't know. His entrance isn't super exciting. Maybe. I don't know, right? We just all have defaulted, and WWE has defaulted to making him a heel. And look, I don't think it's a bad choice. People genuinely react to him in a negative way, which is a positive. But when you look at it from just logic, you're like, so why are we booing him again? He's going out there and doing exactly what he says he's going to do, and he's trying to make sure that the championship is respected. What exactly is bad about this again? And then you have the New Day out there making jokes, and everything's a joke. Everything's bathroom humor. Everything's inside jokes. And we're all supposed to boo Gunther for trying to bring respect and value to a championship that has made a lot of men and has arguably one of the most decorated histories in all of pro wrestling. I don't get it. But nonetheless, I still like him as a heel because it's working, and he's getting booed. But anyway, you're gonna get me on a Gunther rant, which is in a good way, right? Like, because I just can't stop talking about him. Thank you, Justin. That's what I meant to say. All right, let's get to our final voicemail here, and then it's time for the main event with Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fans. So let's do this.
Alex, the French guy here, your current European champion, will be European champion after this WrestleMania weekend. I will still be your master European champion. Just wanted to address and to wish you all a pleasant WrestleMania weekend. This is the highlight of the year in terms of wrestling. So I'm hoping everyone have a great time watching WrestleMania. And yeah, I don't have much to say this week. Just to wish all of you on the podcast very good WrestleMania. Enjoy as much as you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will cover some other subject after WrestleMania. We will have plenty of time to discuss those subjects. So yeah, thank you everybody for being on the podcast. Thank you, Matt. And we see all after WrestleMania. Bye, guys.
Alex, what a nice way to end the show. You were very calm today. It seems like no one's threatening you. So you can remain your master European champion. That's a new one. And yes, I would also agree, right? Alex, I hope you enjoy WrestleMania. I know many of us get together with friends and have a good time, have a few drinks, get some appetizers, or maybe you're watching it alone. I'm probably going to actually watch it alone. And partly because I don't have a whole lot of friends that like wrestling, but also partly because even if I did, I don't know if I would go anywhere because I'm a homebody. So there's also that, right? So it's kind of a double negative, which would actually make it a positive. Anyway, that is probably my plan. If anyone cares, I'm curious what you guys are doing. Do you guys get together? Do you guys get together with friends, family? Or do you just get berated by your friends and family for watching that pro wrestling, that fake pro wrestling? Oh my goodness. So, I saw a TikTok with Chris Van Vliet, and maybe you guys have seen this too. It's probably not just on TikTok, but Chris Van Vliet, I've actually interviewed him here before on the show. Great guy. And I'd encourage you guys to check out his channel, Chris Van Vliet. He's done so many big interviews from The Undertaker to Shawn Michaels to, just you go down the line, every big name. He's done such a great job. Again, really nice guy. But my point about this is he was on he was talking to some major guy on TikTok. And if you've seen him, you would you know exactly who he is. I don't know his name, but it was recent, and the guy was talking to Chris as if he didn't know wrestling was scripted, and Chris was handling it well. But I would have thrown it back at him, bro, what, what are you even talking about, right? Of course it's scripted. Everything you watch on TV, for the most part, is scripted. Does that make it not entertaining because it's not an actual competitive sport? I wish I could get the name of this dude. If you guys have seen it, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you could probably YouTube it or something. But the worst part about it was this dude exposed himself as a complete hack. Not Chris, the guy was the one that was interviewing him, because he said, well, you're watching that Undertaker versus Triple R. He actually didn't even know who Triple H was. He had heard probably the name in passing, and he called him Triple R. When you're dealing with somebody the level of ignorance of something that they are making fun of you for liking, that they clearly don't even know the bare minimum basics about wrestling, that's all you need to know. So I felt the need to come on my show because I have a platform to do it, and just back up Chris on this. He did a great job handling it. I would have, buried the dude, on air in his own show. If you're trying to come at me for liking something for a specific genre of entertainment, and you don't even know the names of some of the biggest wrestlers that have ever lived, you can't even pronounce them correctly. That's all you need to know about your level IQ of wrestling. Anyway, a little bit of a side rant that I didn't expect to go on tonight, but let me just end this by saying, guys, enjoy WrestleMania. I'll be back tomorrow night with a full preview and predictions. And then, of course, it's your typical shows with AEW. We may do retro. I know sometimes we, with the retro shows on the pay-per-view weeks, we tend to bottle them up for another time. We may do that this week because there's just so much audio, and it's going to be very WrestleMania focused. We'll be doing a night 1 and night 2 review separately. It's not going to be one massive review. There'll be a night 1 review. There'll be a night 2 review. And then Monday night will be a kind of a big wrap up, maybe a 60-minute conversation with Anthony DeMarco on the current state of WWE as we put a bow on wrestling or WrestleMania and then move on. So, all right, that is it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan, and everybody enjoy yourselves, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.